I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new.
So can you guys actually see this? This is an unintentional live stream, just to let you know. I had these two live streams I could not clear out. I was listening to Pocket Metal and all those guys, and I was trying to delete them. They've been there for like 2 months. And so just so you know, I'm just sitting here. I'm here just stropping my knife, and I finally got my little clip put in. So this is what I was doing the entire time. And my time mask is put on this thing, and then I was going to go ahead and fix this. So I'm just sitting here doing this. So if you want to hang around, chat, whatever, that's cool. But I just needed to play this live stream so I could clear it out, because it's not even supposed to be here. This is like a live stream I cannot delete. Like, I can see it in my app, but you go to my studio, it's not there. So I don't understand exactly how that works. So anyways, hello. So there's nothing planned for this. This is just me stropping a knife. So this is one I found on sale on July 4th. And then they had a sale on this thing. And so I've been kind of stropping, trying to get it nice and sharp. Nothing fancy. Very boring. No kazoo time. This is just chilling and mellowing. I was eating some cashews, and I reapplied some leather on my strop here. Now, I don't know if you know the story. This is the strop that one of my awesome subscribers actually made for me. It's a handmade strop. This is walnut with horse's hide. Pretty cool. Yeah, you were bad and you ordered a mini roach, Stacy. I want to order the Militao. I really want to get a Militao so bad. Yeah, I want to get one of those Militao in the DLC. So I don't know about you guys. Any of you guys just ever waste time and just strop away at your leather strop? This is a messy thing here, just so you know. Nothing clean about this. Oh, and here's a live stream. It finally showed up, which I can't believe it did. So there it is. It's actually live. Okay. Well, how about that? I can never figure it out. Only 10 left to get it. Are you going to get yourself a nice Kaiser? Yeah, Bluetooth blade, Stacy, the Night's Edge. This was totally unplanned. Grizzle Bear, leather crafting, Ouchie EDC, ground fog. I I literally had two live streams that I couldn't delete. I couldn't start. I don't know where they came from. And so I finally decided to start one. And the one started and it showed up, but it showed up like I just saved it. And it showed up like I did it a month ago. So I'm like, what is that all about? So I don't really get it. So this one I think is like 2 or 3 months ago and I've never cleared it out. So the only way I guess to clear it out is just to play it. But it's not going to be in the most recent streams, I think. I think it's going to show up like a really old stream or something. Yeah, I was looking for something to watch too. I was enjoying listening to Pocket Metal and Javon. I mean, I gotta admit, it's a trip listening to those guys. I don't know, were you guys on Pocket Metal, Metal Mondays? Sometimes it can be a very interesting conversation. Tonight, it was. I felt like I was on a Scared Straight episode. I felt like Javon, he scared me straight. I don't know about you guys, but anyways, yeah. So here I am, just sharpening a knife as I try to get this live stream to clear out. So I figured, why not? We'll just hang out. If you all want to hang out, we can hang out. Not nothing fancy to talk about except just, hey, what's up? So yeah, Javon's a trip. I like Javon. I mean, he's cool. I actually met him at Blade Show. He's a little guy. He and Cole are about, I think, about the same size and stuff like that. But he's a scrappy little dude that I wouldn't want to mess with. I feel like he's it's kind of like my wife. My wife is a tough lady. I would never want to mess with her. She learned how to defend herself with being the daughter of a police officer. So I'll just say, I pity the fool whoever tries to do something to her. Which I like. I like the fact that she can defend herself very well. She knows techniques that if you had to use, that she could disable somebody. It's kind of cool. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. I mean, he's a guy who's learned a lot from doing a lot. You know, he's a guy that's people have knowledge and then people have wisdom, and I think knowledge comes from book smarts, wisdom comes from experience, and I would say when he talks about this is not good to do, that's wisdom, right? Yeah, just so you know, we're just here hanging out because I had a live stream I couldn't delete. It wouldn't go away. And so I had to start it up to just get it going. And so now I'm here just dropping my knife, trying to get this razor sharp. This is part of my OCD. If I'm in meetings, I literally sit here like this listening to calls until I can get a hair and shake it on top of the blade and it can cut. And it drives me nuts when I can't get a blade that sharp. I feel like I have to re-apex the blade or something. This one was pretty sharp when I got it, but it's a very touchy, weird 23, 24 angle degree edge here. So this is the part of stropping that can be boring. I'm sitting in the shop enjoying the morning. So in the shop, are you working this evening? I mean, is it evening? Where's everybody from? I'm in Texas. So right now it is, as you can see, my clock says it is 1:22, 1:18 in the morning. I'm supposed to be on vacation, but I have to get online here in a little bit to try to fix some code I've really been trying to push off because I'm kind of frustrated about it. Alabama, Grizzle Bear Leather Crafting, Alabama. Knight's Edge, where are you at? Ohio, Joe Isabella 218 there. Okay. Ouchie EDC, Cali 11 p.m. there. That's cool. 1:17 a.m. So you're about the same as me, Grizzle Bear, Alabama. I suck at sharpening. I have Workshop Pro. I haven't figured it out yet. Nervous. Yeah, I mean, it can be tricky. The trick with doing any of those things, I got to tell you, the biggest help for me was just doing it slow, taking your time. Kentucky for Bluetooth blades, cool. West Central Kentucky for Stacy Bolster. New Orleans for The Knight's Edge. Now, is it New Orleans or New Orleans? I think if you say it one way, you can tell you're native. If you say it another way, you can tell you're not from there. That's what I was been told by my friends from there. At least parts of where they're at. Because I heard somebody it's like New Orleans or New Orleans. New Orleans. Okay. So who says New Orleans? Who says that? Is that another part of the state, or is that out of state, or is that a state near you? Because I've heard people say it like that, and they swear up and down that's how you say it. That's for tourists. That's like St. Louis or St. Louis. It's not St. Louis. Well, it's like you go up in Massachusetts. Anybody ever go up to Peabody? It's Peabody, Massachusetts. Just like it's Gloucester. It's not Gloucester. And I lived in Tewksbury. It's not Tewksbury. Northerners. Hey, I'm from Texas. I'm not a northerner. I'm a southerner. Y'all. I say y'all like someone who said it their life. You know, not someone who's trying to say y'all. But I will tell you, even my sister-in-law, who's been down here now for a couple of years, she's starting to use y'all. It grows on you like a fungus or a moss. It could be good or bad, I guess. 40 miles north of Bowling Green. All right. Cool. Joe Isabella, Blue, everyone saying hello. Very cool. My best friend is from Brockton. Nice. I'm from the armpit of Cali. My speech is terrible. We used to call that South Texas, Rio Grande Valley. We called that the armpit of Texas. We lived down there. I lived in Harlingen, right on the border. And everybody had there was a South Texas accent. It was a South Texas accent. It wasn't the same as Texas, right? So if you lived on the border, it was very different. It was like the border accent is very different than anywhere else in Texas. This is the way people talk on the border. Everybody talks like this on the border. It's just how you talk down there. And a lot of times you throw a Spanish word in it, like mira, verdad, that just kind of happens. And everybody talks like that. And this is legitimately the border accent. This is how people talk, That's how we talk down there. And we still use a y'all, but it's a border accent. I used to live in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Wicked, yeah. Sapaki Khan, Havajad, my boys, when we first moved to Texas, they had the thick accent. Princeton, Kentucky here. Massachusetts, say wicked. Wow, that's wicked cool. Use guys, that's wicked cool. I had a friend, his name was David Maria. You add an R to the end. It's Banana, Maria, California. Everyone, you add an R at the end. Hey, y'all have a good night. I'm probably not going to stay on too much longer. I needed to kill this live stream because it just wouldn't delete. I had to play it to get rid of it. But it's cool to say hello to everybody. It's good to chat up a little bit. Hope everybody is doing well. Y'all had a good night. I did. My Monday sucked. It really did. And it's always different when you do a live stream and you get like hundreds of people showing up. You got to be fully engaged. And it's cool. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But you don't get a chance to sit back and relax, where I feel like here I'm a little more chilled right now just because I'm not planned or anything. So this is a different Rob's Nerdy Knives. This is Rob's Chili Nerdy Knives, or Rob's Chili Knives, or I don't know what you want to call it. You could call it Rob's Ramblings on the Rocks, maybe. I don't know. A little scotch and whiskey in the evening, or I don't know. I don't want to bring alcohol in if people are, that's a thing that it's not good to bring up. But yeah, definitely a different demeanor. It's more laid back for sure. Because I've never done this. This is just kind of impromptu. So this is impromptu live. I wake up with a 20% social battery. So kudos to you. I just got the James Brand's Barnes knife. Oh, Ron Dobbins. Where'd you get? Did you get the new one or did you get a used one? Did you get the one on BladeBinge? I know there was one on sale there. I looked at it, and when I first saw it, it was one price, and then it went to another price. And I said, oh, nope. Did it go back to a good price if you got the one on BladeBinge, or did you get the new one? And if you got the new one, did you get a coupon? Because that's the only way I would buy it there. Because you can get a coupon if you play it right. More Rob, less kazoo. Oh, you got that right. I can't be playing any kazoo. Everyone's asleep. This is late night. This is a, what do you want to call it? So Rob's Nerdy Knives. What sounds like a late night with that? How could we do that? I'm from Tampa, Florida. Been in Kentucky 15 years. Cool. So Ron, you got the new one. Now, did you get the 10% off? You know, if you sign up as a new, get, I know this sounds terrible, but get a brand new email address. If nothing else, just to sign up, get your 10% coupon. I hope you got your 10% coupon and get 10% off of it. It's absolutely worth doing just for 10% off. Or did they have a sale? Did they have like a 4th of July sale or something? Late knife with Rob. I like it, Stacy. Stacy, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think we'll call it. If we do this again, we'll call it late knife with Rob. Nerds after hours. Joe, I like that. Rob Nerdy Knives after hours. I like that. We could be late knife with Rob, or late knife with Nerds after hours. Maybe late knife nerds, late knife and nerds after hours. How about late knife and nerds after hours? Well, I appreciate that, Ron. I haven't even named the video. It's just Rob's Nerdy Knife stream, and it's got an old little list there. So we should probably change that real quick. What do y'all think of that? I mean, I want to incorporate all the ideas. That's why I was trying to think of that. Like, so late knife with Rob. So late knife and nerds after hours. Nerdy late knife with Rob. Nerdy late knife with Rob. Okay, I like that one too. I like that one too. Late knife nerds. I like that one too. It reminds me of the Orca at the Revenge of the Nurse. That's funny. I like that. Let's see. Can we? I wonder if I can do. Since I'm here, I know there's supposed to be. You know, this is a good time to experiment. Joe reminds me of when we got Bush. I just want to say I really appreciate the videos you put out and keep on good work. Well, hey man, Ron, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. I'm humbled by that. You know, I try to do the real thing. You know, I know I'm not for everyone, and I'm okay with that. Just so you know that. You know, you guys, not everybody's for everybody, and that's okay. Booger was out of pocket. Booger was out of pocket. I don't know what that means. It's late, so I don't know. Do a poll in a stream to pick the name. That's what I was trying to do. I was thinking we should do that. So let me see if I can open up this thing. Let's see. It's got to be a way. I know there's the whole thing. This is something I haven't explored, so this is a good time to try it. So let's see. Can we add a poll? Can I do a poll here? Send feedback. Moderate. Media moderation. No. I wonder if that's going to be over in the studio. I can do that. Got to be some way to do that. So let's do the live. So is there a place to add a poll? Wait, what about this? What is this? Ooh, start a poll. I found it. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Question. All right. So let's come up with the options. So we got nerdy late knife. Nerdy late knife with Rob. We'll do one. Is there a way to change that? Add option. Okay. So nerdy late life with Rob. Let's see here. We got nerdy knives after hours. Okay. All right. Add option. Okay. How about what's the other one? Rob's. Okay. Rob's. Rob's nerdy. Rob's nerdy. Where'd it go? Night stream. Do that. Okay. Okay. All right. So what's the other one? I think we had a couple other ones. Nerdy late knife with Rob. Late night knife. I think I got that one. No, late knife nerds. Okay, so that gives us a couple there. All right, then we got one more spot for one more option. What's another one? Javon, hey man, what's up, man? We were just chilling. I had 2 live streams that I couldn't delete. And these live streams were a pain in the butt. And the only way I could do it is I started it. So I started one and it went away. And then I saw one like as I closed it. I had this other one. As soon as I started, everyone jumped in. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, we're just hanging. So we're going to come up with a name if we do this again. And so far, I'm going to do a poll here. I've got nerdy late knife with Rob, late knife nerds, nerdy knives after hours, Rob's nerdy night stream. And what was the other one that we were talking about? We had one other one. I thought that was pretty cool. Nerdy late knife with Rob. We did that one. Thought there was another one in here. I'm not seeing it. Maybe we'll just do 4. Unless you guys have another idea for another one. Late knife nerds. Nerdy late knife with Rob. Rob's nerdy knife. Rob's dirty knives after hours. Did I do that one? Rob's nerdy knife stream? No, I didn't do that one. How about that one? We'll do that. The other one. Rob's nerdy knives after hours. All right. I don't know how this poll is going to work. I don't know if it is even correct. So you tell me if you can pick one. Does it work? Oh, there's only 4 options. I thought there was 5. Well, if you like one of those 4 options, cool. That title was supposed to be an option. So sorry about that. Hopefully that works out for you guys. Nerdy late knife with Rob. That one doesn't flow real easy. Late knife nerds. That one's kind of quick. Rob's nerdy knives after hours. That's kind of cool. Nerdy knives after hours. That one's a little simpler. Rob's nerdy night stream. Rob's nerdy late stream. I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm still awake too. If you're talking to me. Rob's nerdy nights. Rob's nerdy nights. Okay. Hey, if you guys got a better one, we'll go for it. I mean, I can redo the poll. So we can pick like what we like. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that stand out. We can add a couple more and do another one. Because if people come up with cooler ideas, I'm totally for it. So Javon, man, how are you doing? Night loving night nerd. Knife loving night nerds. Javon, I like that one. That's a cool one, right? All right, I'm gonna have to remember that one. So let me write that down. So it's where'd it go? Knife loving night nerds. Yeah, because that kind of brings us all into it, right? I like how you think, Javon. That's cool because that kind of brings us all into it because we want it to be about everyone here, right? I like that. All right, so There we go. So I got like that one. Knife loving night nerds, and somebody else had another good one. I thought that was pretty cool. There was two. So how do I close the poll? Is there a way to close the poll? How do you do that? Boy, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So far, people like the late knife nerds. Okay. So how about this? What do y'all think? Maybe we do another poll with Javon's name, the knife loving night nerds, and then late night nerds. Then I thought somebody else had another cool one in there. I am absolutely, honestly, totally surprised that I am totally surprised that we have 15 people here. That's funny. That's cool though. My script is flipped and I'm snoozed, wide awake and having a great night. How are you, brother? That's cool, man. Ron Dobbins, Rob, I got to go. Hope you have a good night and talk to you next time. Man, well, I appreciate you being here, Ron. Thank you so much. I know it is late. It is late. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close. Well, let me see. Where's the poll at? So we got 45% for late night nerds, and then we've got nerdy knives after hours. Okay, so what we can do, let me take a screenshot of that. Because right now I am without my tools. All right, and I'm gonna take a picture of that right there. I'll bring that in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, since we got 12 votes and we got, what, 14 people here. Anybody else want to vote real quick? Feel free if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to vote. Stonehands, man, what's up? Have you seen three body count yet? I have not. That's interesting. I have not seen that. Is that any good? I've heard it. I've actually heard it. I think, that's not a Netflix. Is that a Amazon Prime one kind of thing? If I'm thinking of the same thing, I could be wrong. Rob's Nerdy Nights. Oh, that's another good one, Beaver Baron. By the way, hello. Appreciate you being here, man. Totally impromptu evening live stream here, just so y'all know. Kyle, man, what's up? Mark Parks, what's up, man? We're just chilling. This is an impromptu live stream. I was actually trying to clear out a stuck live stream by having to start it, and then everybody joined the party. Kind of start having a little party. Interesting Javon fact: my fixed blade videos get on average 10 times more views of the folders I love. I think there are lots of fixed blade peeps. You know, that's funny because there are some of my videos. You know what else works for me, Javon? One of those surprising videos that gets that I still don't get it. Every time I do a multi-tool, I get thousands of views on those videos. And it could be an unboxing or a review. I get even putting these little skins on here. I'm blown away by how many views I get for these things. So yeah, there's content that always kind of surprises me, right? The other one that kind of blows me away, when I do the quiet carry knives, people really like those videos, which is cool because quiet carry tends to be nice about that, since I get a lot of views and apparently it helps their sales quite a bit. So it helps. Sometimes they're generous to the channel. They allow me to look at things early. Like there's supposed to be a new knife coming out here shortly, that they're supposed to have a production model, and hopefully I'll get to look at it before it's even released and get to have a view of it, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, to me, that's kind of cool because then I can tell you, I'm always going to be honest. You know, there's always the chance that I do the last review and it might be the last one I ever do for them, but I'm not going to lie about it. So Rob's Rob's Late Night Nasty Knife Nerds. All right, Stonehands. That one's cool. I saw Body Count at a concert in the 90s. Oh, so you're talking about music? Oh, I thought it was a show. Okay, yes, the BF. The boyfriend likes fixed, but not interested in folders. Stacy also, he likes fixed blades. I just started getting into fixed blades myself. Hey, Midnight, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. We're just chilling. It's a really impromptu late night stream here. Totally unexpected. See, I'm not even. Let me get the camera over there. There we go. All right, now it's on me. So, Rob, I think more people use multi-tools than EDC knives. Maybe I have yet to have a video blow up, but I have a pretty narrow focus on sharing knives on my channel. Well, when I say blow up, it's blow up for me because I'm a small channel, right? And I think blow up is if I get more than 10,000 or 15,000 views. I mean, blow up for someone like Metal Complex or Stazo, that's like millions of views. I'm not at that level at all. Matter of fact, I had one short. It was on my 8020, the carbon fiber one. And whatever music I used for that short, whoever had the music decided to pull it, and they just yanked my video and took my views away. And I didn't know you could do that with shorts. I mean, it was like one of my 11, 12,000 views, which that's a typically, you get one or two good videos like that. Most videos don't always get 15, 20,000 views, right? I mean, if you get 1,000 views, that could be average, but that's kind of like, that's sometimes hard to get. So Jojo, don't worry about it. I like to just give you a hard time. I was going to get material from Blade Show, but didn't work out. I'll send you something and you can decide. Oh, cool. I top out at like 14K all the time. Only a few C10K. Yeah. I've yet to have any of those big giant videos. I mean, I think it's cool when you see those guys who get 60 or 100,000 views on their videos. I'd love to have one like that. Just the algorithm is not in my favor at this point, but I'm appreciative for everyone who watches it and the people who watch it regularly, because honestly, I would do what I do if there was 10 people watching or 15 people watching it. So it's not going to change. I still like knives. I'll still talk about the same thing. So that really won't ever change for me. It's just kind of how I am. Well, Stonehands, I appreciate that. I always appreciate that. Just like I try to watch everybody else's videos when I can. I'll put something on in the background, even if I can't necessarily listen to it, I'll kind of watch it, or if I'll listen to it in the car. I listen to a lot of videos in the car while I'm driving. So if there's a live stream, I'll listen in, but if somebody has a video, I'll put it into my queue. Since I have the YouTube Premium, I can kind of queue up the videos. I like that. I like to be able to do that. So that's kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. I think we're kind of set there. We've got two choices we're going to do. So we'll end the poll there. Let's do one more poll. This time, I think I know how it works. So we're gonna say, okay, the top one is it. Thank you. Thank you for great ideas. All right, so here we go. So the first one we're gonna call, what was it you had over here? I really liked one you said. No, not the nasty late night nerds. That one's not quite my cup of tea. I think it's funny, but it's not quite my cup of tea. Rob's Nerdy Nights. I like that one. Rob's Nerdy Nights. That's kind of cool. That has a kind of a nights. That has a cool ring to it, right? That's what I was kind of trying to say. Trying to talk at the same time. And then I got Javon here, which is Knife Loving Night Nerds. All right, we got that one. And then we got one more, which is Late Night Knife Nerd. Oops, helps if I can spell. Late Night Nerds. I like that one. Then we'll get the last option, which is going to be Nerdy Knives After Hours. All right, there you go. That's the last poll. We'll go for that. Whatever we decide, that's what we're calling it. That's what we're going to go with. So you guys tell me. I think those are 4 good choices there. I think that goes, they all sound good. They flow good when you read them. So I'll just read them out. You tell me how it sounds. Welcome to Rob's Nerdy Nights. I'll pretend I'm like DJ or something. Wait, here. Let me give you the effect. Welcome to Rob's Nerdy Nights. Does that work? All right, how about this? Knife-loving nerds. Oh, let me do that again. Knife-loving night nerds. This is your place to hang out. Okay, how about this one? Late night nerds. Where we can't sleep, but we love knives. I don't know. Nerdy knives after hours. Nerdy knives after hours. When the bed no longer calls your name, but your knife wants to flick. I don't know. I'm doing this impromptu and it sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. So what do we got? Rob's Nerdy Nights. Okay. All right. That one looks like it's pretty popular. That's cool. All right. So did anybody else joined and I didn't say hello to? Because if you just joined or if you're here, you may be wondering what the heck's going on. This is an impromptu live stream. I was just so anybody new here that doesn't know, doesn't have a clue what's going on. Kyle, you were here. Grizzly Bear, Leathercrafting, you were here. Joe was here. Javon, Midnight, Bama Fan. I don't know if you were here when we first started. Josh, 304, Nerdy Knives After Dark. So I don't know if you were here the whole time or not, but basically, I had a couple of live streams that I had to get rid of. I couldn't delete them, and so every time I tried to delete them, the only way I can get rid of them is I had to start the live stream. So that's what we're doing. So now we're trying to figure out what do we want to call this? If we happen to do this again, why not have a name for it, right? Rob's Nerdy Nights. Okay, that'll work. I gotta sign off here in just a little bit, guys. This was, like I said, it's totally impromptu, unintentional. But if we ever do this again, we'll have a name for it. So far I got 13 votes, but there's 17 people here. So 4 people get to vote. Anybody else want to throw in a vote? Rob's After Hours Knives. Rob's Knives After Hours? Maybe Rob's Knives After Hours? I'm trying to make it sound, I want it to flow off the lips, right? I want it to sound cool. Not that doesn't sound cool. It just, if I have a hard time saying it, I'm going to make it not sound cool. How about that? Late Knives Nerds. Late Knives Nerds. Late Nights with Knife Nerds, or Knife Nerds. Late Nights and Late Nights with Knife Nerds. Maybe Late Nights with Knife Nerds? I don't know. Right now, I can tell you, I really don't have anything necessarily in mind that I'm looking for. I mean, I have 3 grails that I'd like to get. I would like to get, obviously, Brown Knives, Cortex. I'd love to get an SPK Lamia. And then there's one other one that was on the Discord list. I can't remember it, but let me see if I can find it. If you didn't sign up for the Discord, if you want to sign up, I have a Discord, which I can't believe I have, but there you go. Kind of blows me away. Let's say Top Girl Knives. I think I put one in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. The Skiff Made Blades Accomplice. Those are the 3. Now they're all grill knives because they're probably very unreachable, but those are the ones I would love to get. As far as other knives though, really don't have anything that's jumping out at me right now that I know of. I've been wanting to check out that Gecko a little bit. That's one that's kind of interesting. My future, Javon, my future late night stream will be called Javon's Super Chat Grabs. I like that one, Javon. That's cool. All right, so it looks like at 13 votes with 16 people here. Anybody else want to vote? Okay, 14 votes. We're at, ooh, it's close. There's 2 that are contending. We got Rob's Nerdy Nights, and then we got Nerdy Knives After Hours. They both sound pretty good, actually. I like those. I like both of those a lot. So one of those two. So far, we got 14 votes. If we get with 18 people here, if we get one or two more votes, then we can call it. Anybody else join that weren't here earlier? So just to let you know, I had a couple of live streams I had to delete, and I started them up. That was the only way I guess I could delete it. And here we are. I didn't expect everybody to jump on really quick. So this is totally different than a regular live stream. This is just a quick mellow chat. I was just stropping my knife and trying to clean up my desk and put everything back so that I could head to bed. Might grab a little bite to eat. I was eating some Kirkland whole fancy cash. Now I didn't eat this one bag tonight. I've had this bag for like probably a month, but I'm down to the crumbs here on this one. These are good. I've got poison ivy bad all over my feet and legs last weekend. Ooh, man. Stonehands, that sucks. That sucks. After hours memes. After midnight? LOL. I guess so, right? I've got I got a one-off knife standards RR made for me by a.k.a. a Brian Brown Corvus inlay and maybe a few others. Kyle, let me know about the Brian Brown Corvus. I'd be interested in that. Just at least to see a picture of it. I can't remember which one that is. I think I know which one it is. If it is, it's one that I think I handled. But if it's not, I'd still like to see it because I could be wrong. But that one sounds interesting. Now the ATR is you said it's one he made for you. Is it like weird or something? I mean, I don't know how to ask that. You know, sometimes people have unique requests, and that's cool, and that's totally cool. But I just want to make sure it's not. You know my aesthetic. I like titanium and carbon fiber. I'm pretty basic in my colors, and so I'm not going to be crazy out there. Now, I have been throwing a little anodized purple in there, and some Damascus has made it into a few knives more and more. But it's only small, subtle hints. I'm not going all time Damascus. That's not my cup of tea. So, darn stone hands. I cane roll in it. It doesn't bother me. Okay. It's an exclusive Tonto Brian Brown. R&R is an all blacked out one, except a satin blade. Didn't offer it to the public. Ooh, Kyle, do you have my email address here? I'll put it in here. I'm going to put it in here. Email me here at Rob's Nerdy Knives. If you wouldn't mind sending me a picture of those two, that'd be really cool. I'd be interested. At least taking a look at it. Nothing else, right? Stonehands, Stacy, my son and wife are the same, but I swear I get it just by looking at it. Oh, man. Oh, Stacy, you're one of those that is immune to it. That's crazy. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, it looks like, ooh, look at this, the poll. We've got 16 votes, and it looks like Nerdy Knives After Hours pulled it off from Rob's Nerdy Nights. So Nerdy Knives After Hours. That does have a nice rhyme to it. So I guess that's what we're going to go with, right? No more polls. No more. The poll is about to close. I'll give 1 minute for the poll to close. One more minute for the poll to close. We got 16 votes if anybody else wants to vote. 1 more minute for the poll to close. If anybody just happened to join, we're just kind of chilling. This looks like this is going to be called Nerdy Knives After Hours. I think that's what we're going to be calling this. So Stonehands, have a good night, man. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining. Oh, that's probably my phone dinging here. Probably my wife telling me I need to go to bed, which she's right. She's absolutely right. I do need to go to bed. All I did was meant to just pop on here for this real quick. Well, man, Stacy, I'm jealous of you being immune to that, but cool. All right, so we got 16 votes. We're about 1 minute mark. I think that's what it's going to be called. Oh, you're going to do a giveaway and get 120 on the Discord server. That's cool. That's cool. I'll be sure to be subbed there. That's cool. Definitely. For sure. All right. So Rob, email sent. Thanks, Kyle. Man, appreciate it. All right. So 17 votes. What did it? Oh, it's neck and neck. Look at that. All right. So what I see is 41% for Nerdy Knives After Hours and 35% from Rob's Nerdy Nights. You know, we could swap it out. We could call it Rob's Nerdy Nights, and then we can call it Nerdy Knives After Hours. We could it could be Nerdy Knives After Hours, a.k.a. Rob's Nerdy Nights. How about that? What do y'all think of that? I'll list it like this. You tell me if this works for you guys. It might be because we got a neck and neck vote here. That's crazy. It's totally tied. So I'm going to take a quick picture of that. I'm going to bring it over here. So I was thinking I would call it something like this. So if I labeled the live stream, I would call it something like this. Nerdy, because I'm gonna have to title this live stream, right? Nerdy Knives After Hours, a.k.a. Rob's Nerdy Nights. Like that. What do y'all think? Y'all like that? Does that work for anybody? I mean, if you hate it, let me know. I'm willing to kind of go with it, right? Logan, we're not still live. It was, to tell you the truth, it was an accidental live. So what I meant to do was I had a couple of live streams that were listed as scheduled, and I couldn't get rid of them. They were stuck in my OBS studio, and the only way I could do it is to start them. So I started one. Just as I closed it, I had someone like the live stream, and I thought, oh, I didn't know if anybody was there. So then I started the second one, and then everybody jumped on, which is cool. It was kind of impromptu late night live stream. But I've kind of let it go for a little bit because everybody's been talking and having a good time, and we're just chilling. This is very different than a normal live stream. We're just kind of chilling. I'm here. I was here just stropping my knife, trying to get this nice and sharpened because I'm a little OCD about that. I like to have a crazy sharp knife since I just got this in. This is the one that I just got in today. I put on my Rips Garage technology. I finally got that file down where this fits in there now. Only thing is I did mess up the screw, and I used a Sharpie to kind of cover up all the wear out there on that. You can kind of see it. So I asked Luft Concepts if I could buy a couple of these screws, if they had a couple extra ones, because I'd like to replace that. But this is Timascus. I don't know if you can see that. And then this is Timascus in the backspacer. That was on sale too. And this knife was on sale at Blade HQ. So I went ahead and got it because I've always wanted this knife. You know, M390, I thought it was kind of a cool knife. And flips pretty nicely. So there we go. It was a cool sale knife, I'll say that. Krakadana. Any tips on sharpening an S30SV? S30VN? Actually, it would be S30V. It's S35VN, but it's S30V. Yeah. I bought the Bodacious, and I just can't get it as sharp as I'd like it. All right. So what are you using to sharpen it with Krakadana? That's the first question, right? Do I know if Spyderco will let me purchase just the liners for my PM2? Logan B, I highly, highly doubt it. I hear people buying them on Temu or whatever that Indian or Chinese site is. I wouldn't recommend it. I think the best bet is to find a G10 PM2, like with a real budget seal, but it's a G10 version, and get that. Maybe find a used one. I was fortunate enough that somebody gave me a set of pair of 3 scales that they had extras, and I was really thankful for that. Sometimes people will sell them if they have extras. You know, you could put it out there. Hey, I need a set of scales. Maybe somebody has something to sell. Maybe they broke a blade. Like if they have a Maximate blade and you drop it and cracked it and it's gone, I'd save the liners and the scale. because I could use that again, right? At some point, you buy an FRN scale, you never know. Kuromatsu stones. So use Kuromatsu stones. So you're doing freestyle sharpening. So you're not using guided or anything like that. So the trick for that is always going to be typically when you're using stones like that. So it's going to be similar to probably doing, this is my emergency stone when I'm sharpening. Like when we were on our trip, I had to sharpen kitchen knife for somebody, but you know, this is where you can kind of, you can work it back and forth. I don't want to mess this edge is pretty decent, so I don't want to mess with that. Do I have a knife I could work with? How about this guy? Yeah, it's pretty sharp. So let's see if we can do this. Let me just make sure I'm on the right edge here. Let me see what the edge is real quick. So I'm trying to see where my buildup is. So I don't know if you know what I'm doing. So on the strop, I'm doing this where I'm looking for am I getting most material in the right in the front of the edge, or am I getting it behind the edge? If it's in front of the edge, it means I'm too high. If I get it behind the edge, it means I'm too low. So in this case, it's in front of the edge, so I need to go a little lower. So this looks to me like about an 18-degree angle. It's probably about an 18 angle, it looks like to me. At least that's what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like an 18. So if I was going to do it over here, I would do like this. So typically you can do something like that. But the trick is just to make sure that you keep it absolutely centered. Now, are I can't even say it. Those types of stones, am I pronouncing it correctly? Kamamatsu? Oh, now I feel like I can't say it. Where'd it go? Where'd your comment go? The Kamamatsu, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh man. I lost your comment. I looked up and it's gone. But if you use that one, I believe, don't they have to be watered? Are those the ones you have to soak in water? Or are they dry? If they're dry, I mean, this is a dry stone. This is kind of like a ceramic, sort of like a ceramic, but it's not, well, I guess it's sort of. I mean, I guess it's technically a ceramic. It's not like a full ceramic like here. This one, from what I understand from these knives, this is like a 1500 to maybe 2000 to 3000 kind of grit sort of a stone when you have this polished ceramic. This is probably going to be like 600, maybe 600 right here. This diamond one here, but this is going to probably be closer to maybe 800 to 1000. Yeah, so you can use emulsions. That's a good point, Kyle. This right here was made for me. It's a custom strop. This is walnut and this is horse's hide. So horse's hide, nice and thin. This is the very polished, the suede, and here's the polished. Now this is zebra wood, and this is the high polished one. So this one you can also use as well for this. As you can tell, I don't do a lot of polishing on this one. This is kind of an in between, but like this, I always go backwards, but you can always kind of figure out, you got to find your angle first. And the trick is to keep that angle, right? Depending on the stone you use, if it's water-based, you want to make sure you keep it nice and wet and you work it nice and slowly, you know, and it's always better to be patient. It's always better to be patient and make sure, I mean, and if you're reprofiling and re-apexing with those, so you probably want the lower grit version, you're going to kind of keep working it until you get that burr. You're going to feel for that burr. Obviously, I mean, this is not new information here, but for me, what I found always was the trick is you have to find what your angle is that keeps you the most accurate. You know, trying to do some weird angle like this, and if you can't keep your angle, I don't know if you can see this, if you can't keep your angle straight, if you're doing it like this, don't do it that way. So for me, I find it's usually when I'm doing it like this. When I'm pulling to myself, I'm usually at an angle like this, and I have my fingers on the table, and I'm always doing that so that the angle is the same. When I come back, I use my knuckles as well, and I'll find the angle as well, and I'll have to kind of find what that angle is. And for me, it's usually pushing away or pulling toward myself. I don't try to do weird angles. That keeps my angle of my blade level, or at least the right angle that I want. Now, also, depending on how they did the angle, if it's a little longer and a shorter edge here, that means it's probably going to be a little lower, and then you're going to come up with that. So I have found that, just kind of depending on how they sharpened it, if I'm not planning to reprofile the blade, I'll just go long and then kind of come up. And I always look for that. Once I have that down on this part, you know what your angle is. And I'm pointing all this out is because once you know that, then you go to the stones. You want to condition yourself to stay with that, unless you're reprofiling angle. That's what I do. I don't know if that works for you. Sometimes I use the guided KME. And KME works really well for me too, especially if I'm in a hurry. I'm doing a bunch of kitchen knives. I don't have the time to do that. Wet and go, not soakers. Okay, so just wet and go. All right, that's cool. All right, so I think we're going to go with, oh, we got 23 votes now. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay. So we're gonna do a combination of Rob's Nerdy Nights, a.k.a. Nerdy Nights After Hours. Rob's Nerdy Nights. Rob's Nerdy Nights. We could do Rob's Nerdy Nights After Hours. How about that? Since we got those two, what do you think of that? Rob's Nerdy Nights After Hours. Does that work for everybody? What do y'all think? Hey, LCAP, what's going on, man? This is a totally impromptu. Louis, hey, what's going on? Totally impromptu live stream. No, not intended to be here at all. So, I like the blade shape. I have a lot of Warnies, reverse Tonto knives, and then the rest of them are Spyderco. Hey, I didn't even set it up where I can post the chats to show it up on the display because I didn't even get that far. But I'm going to go ahead and end the poll now. I think I let the poll go a little longer than I meant to. But anybody new? LCAP, did you already vote in the poll? We're just trying to pick a name for the after hours here. If we happen to do this again, what I was going to call it. I'm thinking right now, I'm going to call it Rob's Nerdy Nights After Hours. I think I'm going to use those two because those seem to be the most popular. So Rob's Nerdy Nights After Hours. Or we could just call it Rob's Nerdy Nights ... After Hours. I don't know. It could be after hours if we go after midnight. We'll just call it Rob's Nerdy Nights if it's late. How about that? It could be a combination of the two. I don't want to overthink it, but I also want to respect everybody's, input. Oh, Crackadonna. Yeah. Neves Knives is great. I definitely recommend Neves Knives. Michael Elmer? Oh man. I'm gonna have to look him up. He's an interesting guy. Very strong opinion, but he's really good at sharpening. I mean, if you're okay with that, right? So I think he's pretty good. That might be someone worth checking out. But Neves Knives is probably going to be. He is really good. There's several other people out there too. Don't get me wrong. There's several other people definitely worth checking. But he has a lot of videos and stuff. Look at his general stuff. He does talk about different stones. He has some different tools that you can use. I mean, personally, I would never recommend the Ken Onion belt sharpener. It's a cool sharpener. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool sharpener. I have one. I use it on a lot of different things. If I reprofile an edge, if I have an axe over there, I'm supposed to regrind for somebody, and then an old Bowie knife that they want me to finish and get rid of some rust on there. And I'll probably use it on that with the polishing it up. I'll use it on the lawnmower. If I have a really tough blade that's got a lot of chipping, I might use that. But typically I'd use a guided sharpener or stones. Those are your two best. A guided sharpener is a good one to start with. There is the KME. There is the Wicked Edge. There's the pretty decent one. You get the professional version of the Work Sharp. Those are all good ones. If you're willing to spend $200, if you only want to spend like about $100, there is a Work Sharp guided one that's like, I think about 100, 120 if you get the one with the extra edges. There's a cheaper version of it. Those are all good.
definitely for something like that. I would just not use the ones that, you with a spinning wheel that you go run through. I would avoid that. So I have something here, it's not on this one, but like this is meant to be freestyle. Now it's supposed to be guided up here, but this is like, if you're in a situation and you need to, like, if you had some rolling on the edge, I can use this to reprofile the edge in a pinch, right? So that's the idea with this. And then you can use this to kind of strop up the edge, but it's never going to be as nice as a full guided one. But I think I might not be holding my angle consistently enough or something. Yeah. So, and that is a matter of getting comfortable with how you hold it. So for me, I will tell you that when I do the angle, it's all about getting where I avoid the torque, avoid the bend here. Whatever you got to do to bend that. If you're holding it like this, there's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of leverage going against you here. So for me, I find that I really need to get in here, and I need to have this part right here. I'll hold a blade like this. So if it's a bigger knife like this, it's really in my hand. And then I'm using my knuckle as I'm coming through. Sometimes it may not be the knuckle, right? It may be, if it's this is a much shorter edge on this one. Now it's a hollow grind, so it's not super short, but this is probably about 25 degrees on this one. So when I do this one, I go a little bit higher like this. And the other thing is you're gonna find a feel when you get the right edge. And I don't know if you guys can appreciate this, but when you're off, you'll feel it like rough. And then there's that part where it's really hitting right on the edge. It's very smooth. It feels like it's just really going smoothly over the edge where you're not scraping stuff off. So that really helps me out. And that was a big thing. But ultimately, it's practice. And what I'd recommend, especially if you have a really nice knife, start with an inexpensive one. Like if you have a lander, I mean, depending on what your budget of your knives are, I mean, this is with these scales, this is almost a $200 knife. So that might be a little high, but if you have, like $500,000 knives, then this might be a budget knife. And this would be a good knife to practice on, right? This would be a really good knife to practice on and get comfortable with that edge. And every edge is going to be different. Sometimes I find some of the edges that people put on, I totally re-apex the edge when that happens. It's not usable for me. And so that's my scenario there. That's when, if it's too thin of an edge like this, I'm still on the edge. All pun intended. This is a really small edge. Now I can't tell if it's because the hollow grind of the blade, right? Let's go up here. If it's the hollow grind of the blade, or if it's just because it's a very short edge. But by the way I'm strapping, I'm at about 25, almost 28 degree angle here. So this tells me I think it's a very short edge. Now they might have done that intentionally for the geometry, for a better cut with a hollow edge. I get it. But it's enough that I might re-apex this to make it just a little bit longer. Now, if you're doing hard cuts, a shorter edge makes sense depending on how you use your knife. I use it on boxes, paper, letters, cases of water, dog food, cat food, mulch, stuff like that. So I don't mind a longer edge, and it works for me. But if you're doing hard cutting with your knife, it's a hard use tool. A shorter edge does make a lot of sense. It really does. So it's kind of up to what you're using your tool for. Yeah, it feels like that. I'm not sure if this one's 2022. This feels almost a little bit more, honestly. So Kyle, when I was doing this, I'll just show you. I'm right here, and that's pretty clean on this side, but it's not exactly the same on both. I can tell you that. Yeah, so that's about. See, now I'm 22, so I've got to go a little higher in this one here. So on this one, I could see that 22 right there, but over here, this one is almost like 25. And if I look at the edge, I'm gonna look at that. So let's look at that together. Okay, so that edge. Oh yeah, much longer edge on this one, and it's a much shorter edge on this one. It's not an even grind, so I will at some point absolutely re-apex this edge. That's going to drive me nuts. This is a much thinner. I don't know if you can see that. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can really see that. It looks the same, but it's not. This is a much shorter edge on this side compared to this side. I don't know if I can get it to highlight with the reflection. Here, let me zoom in. I'm hoping you can see it. Okay, so there's the edge on that one. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see that, but this is a shorter edge on this one than the other one. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it does have the areas all over it. It does, Louis. When I talked to Jake from Bearded Gear, that was a big influence on him. He didn't copy it, but he definitely had an influence of it. And likewise, his RWL, which, I mean, obviously RWL but you can see a sort of a theme coming through there. Now this has more of the Porsche kind of influence. So this is like a merge with a Porsche on there. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. There you go. So you can definitely see that theme, but this one's very, very different. I'm interested to see what his USA blade's going to look like. Carter Cutler has some of the good sharpening videos also. Yeah, that's true, Bama fan. Yep. Kyle, dude, your personality and your Kyle, dude, your personality and your knowledge. You'll be hit to get. You have to try it. Think about it. MPG has done it. She's awesome. Your live will get even better. Hey, absolutely, man. You know that. So do you know that Meredith, when she first started, she was on my live stream, and we were talking, and she was doing something, and I suggested, I said, I went over to her channel, and I said, I don't know if she had a channel. I said, do you have a channel or whatever? And I went over and I subscribed. I think I was her first subscriber for her channel, if I remember correctly. It's either number 1 or number 2. But she did the channel after, I suggested it to her, and then she started doing videos, and she's doing really good. So I was really excited that, not that I felt like I did anything for her, just encouraged her, right? And sometimes people just need the encouragement to let them know that you can do it, And the trick about YouTube, one of the biggest things that I started, if you want to see how bad live streams can be, look at my very first live stream. It'll give everybody hope. If you look at my very first content, it'll give everybody hope because it wasn't great, right? And I watched this guy who does like the channel is Think Something, and they do a lot of help for people with YouTube. And he was talking about his first live stream, and he showed him, and they were not good. It made me look good, and I was like, wow. And you look at their professional product. He said the trick is just go out there and do something. Commit to like 30. Do 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week, but commit to it. Don't stop. Publish the video. If you're going to do it every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, whatever, but commit to it. Just commit to those videos, but be consistent and do it for 30 days or 60 days, right? That a lot of time will start it rolling. It'll start your whole thing going. Just try it, and that'll help. So. Rarely will you ever get a factory edge with even bevels or not burnt edge. That's the mass production of knives using belt sharpen. Yeah, I agree with you, Kyle. Now, the only exception I've ever had is when I get a custom knife, right? I've got my Rob Johnson's, which was amazing. Trevor Berger's pretty good. His edges are usually very good. I did have one that was off just a little bit. I was very surprised, but it was just a little bit. Still incredibly sharp. Koenig is always been sort of a surprise that it's not as good as it should be. My last one wasn't bad, but I did have to strop it for a bit, and then it was pretty good. Chris Reeves was pretty decent. It wasn't great, but it was pretty decent. The Archer was not bad. I mean, all things considering, it's still belt sharpener, I can tell. But it's always nice when you see hand sharpening it. That's really cool. And there's a few that you definitely see it. The Morpheus and the Haptic, absolutely super polished edge. I mean, when it comes like this from the factory, right? You get a knife that comes with a polished edge like that, and it's like perfectly even on both sides. You know Joe sharpened this one. He sharpened this one by hand. You got the polish on there, and it's crazy sharp. And so, yeah, and Joe's work is just phenomenal. I mean, right? But you're right. That's not a production knife, so that doesn't count. You're right. It doesn't count. It's not a production knife. So I got to be fair, right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll if you guys don't disagree. So we're going to leave the poll at Rob's Nerdy Knives. We got 24 votes. Anybody else want to vote? Last call. 30 seconds. Last call. I'm going to go ahead and close it. Anybody else? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. All right, well, thanks, guys, for voting. I think we got a name. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate y'all coming up with some great ideas. I like that. I like that a lot. So, well, I'm going to have to hit the hay, but you know what? Before I do that, let me title this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and put the name of the live stream. So if you refresh it, we'll start using the new name. And we're going to call it, yes, it's Rob's Nerdy Nights. Rob's Nerdy Nights After Hours. Are we good with that? Rob's Nerdy Nights. We'll just call it Rob's Nerdy Nights, and we'll say a.k.a. Nerdy Knives After Hours. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds kind of like a little, I don't know. I like that. I like that kind of a mesh together. So Rob's Nerdy Nights. Rob's Nerdy Nights. A.k.a. What was going to call it? Nerdy Knives After Hours. Yeah, I kind of like that. Thanks, guys. That's pretty cool. Nerdy Knives After Hours. An unexpected impromptu live stream. All right, and then I'm gonna update my update this, close this. All right. I'm just going to get the comment and add that in there. There we go. Okay, go over here. LCAP Attic. Kyle, I think I recall the Wusthof uses automation now that I think about it. Yeah, Wusthof, they're pretty much automated. I can tell you the most recent Wusthof I bought, there's no way those are hand polished. Now, LCAP, I think you have a valid point though. They're higher end. They have some very high end versions and those are handmade. And I would not be surprised if they're completely hand sharpened. But then again, you're dealing with a knife. And Wusthof already, if you bought a whole set, it's like $1,200. But you're dealing with those high-end knives, like a knife is $1,200-$1,500. So for that price, I mean, you're like pretty much getting into custom price, right? So that would be, I think, reasonable for it to be hand sharpened. At least I think so. Yeah, and just make sure you keep that edge all the way even. And sometimes, you know, the other thing I would say is that's cool. I'm glad you figured that out. Is if you go out too far and your angle starts to change, then make it a smaller angle until you're comfortable to keep that angle, right? So it's okay to have like smaller strokes like this, as long as that angle stays the same, and that's okay because you know you can always work that same angle at a different part of your strop, right? So I can do the top part of my strop like this. And I could do the bottom part of my strop where there's more compound or stone, whatever you're using. I just happen to have a strop here in this case, right? So that also helps too. Oh, the best factory edge. My best factory edge was probably my whole blade works right now. After that, I've had a few Spydercos that have been pretty phenomenal, and they were very even edged. And now get it, they're machine sharpened, but they're ridiculously sharp. I don't know what Spyderco does to sharpen in their USA factory, and especially like the my Schleich buoy or whatever we're gonna call it. That was kind of crazy. I'm getting up, heading. I'm getting up to head into work, and coming quick here. So, all right. Well, have a good evening, Louis. Appreciate you being on here. I think I'm about to wrap it up as soon as I get my description here, and I'm going to add it over. And there we go. Copy that and bring it over here. And there we go. We'll say live stream. We'll do improv. Oh man, Logan B, thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. It's kind of late. I can't really do a kazoo salute when it's this late, so I can do a very quiet kazoo salute for you. So it's a typical thing. So it's a very, very, very quiet one. So you got the quiet late after hours kazoo salute. Kazoo salute. So all right, so Impromptu live. Thank you for joining. All right, so I'm going to save that and let's live stream. Yeah, there we go. Save it. All right, so I changed the name of the live stream. So if you ever want to refresh your live stream wherever you're connected, you'll now see that this is, so like I'm going to hit the refresh page on the live that I'm looking at. Let me see what it does. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll show you what it looks like here if you want to see. So I'm calling it, oh, let me get my face off of there. Oh, wrong one. It's late. I'm hitting the wrong button, guys. Here we go. Why can't I get my face off of there? Oh, there we go. It's off. All right, so Rob's Nerdy Knives, a.k.a. Knives After Hours, an unexpected impromptu live stream. So I think that's what we'll go with. So thanks, guys, for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's also, I mean, Jared also talks about, from Neves Knives, he also talks about one of the other things. Some people, if you cut into, oh, let me go back to the desktop here real quick. So if you cut into your stone a lot, so instead of putting the tip down and then going up, because sometimes that can cut into your stone, he'll come back like this and then come up, right? So he'll come in and then up. So it's almost like a little loop. So likewise over here, and then I'll come up. So if you're having trouble where you're digging in because maybe the tip is really sharp, oops, you're not seeing this. If you're digging in because the tip is really sharp, I'm coming in like that. So, because sometimes you can go in and then you see how I just scraped right there. So come in like that and then come back like that. And just make sure your grip is not allowing any torque. Whatever your angle is, you keep it constant like that. And keep an eye over your thumb studs. If you have a really low angle, sometimes your thumb studs can get caught on here and can throw your angle off, and then it can mess up your edge on the very back because you're not knowing that you're digging into this. Because you can see a few little wear marks here when I had some really long thumb studs with a really long edge, and I was digging. So what I have to do for that, I come in like this. I have to come in at an angle like that to keep the thumb studs out of the way. That's especially true on a stone, because on the stone, if it's black, you'll be scraping all of this. And then you'll have scratch marks and all sorts of stuff. And you don't want that on if you have a black thumb stud or, black blade, or if it's really polished and it looks nice, you don't want to maybe scratch it up. So just keep that in mind. So for those, I'll do something like this where this is all clear. So I'll come up and come in like that. So that works for me. I don't know what works for you guys, but that helps me out. 14 layers of inception. Crack it down at Rob's Nerdy Knives. Thank you. Subscribe. Well, hey, man, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Always appreciate a new subscriber all the time, man. So thank you. Yeah, my goal is always to have a new video. Oh, I always try to have a new video every day and at least one short. Now, I work full time, and sometimes I work 60, 70 hours a week. So that is always a challenge for me to get that out. So I just let everybody know up front, I'm not a full timer like Metal Complex, Neves Knives, or, Stasa. I mean, it'd be cool someday if this ever became a full-time gig, but I don't think it would be, but it would, you could obviously focus more on it, but I always want it to be like a hobby and something fun. So that's why I do this. Using the J-stroke will help you find the angle. Yep. For somebody else too, and Kyle, you probably do this too, is like the first time, if you're really not sure what your angle is on your edge, now make sure it's not a really nice drop, but you can come in here and you can go forward until you see it literally picking up some of the material. So right there, I'm catching. So my angle on this blade is right there. So this is the angle that I want this edge at right here. And that can work on a stone too, by the way. So, and you do that just very gently because you're just trying to see, I already caught some of the material right there. I don't know if you saw that. See, I caught some of the material right there. So I don't want to go until I catch right there. So there's my angle right there. It's just little tricks like that just to get to the right angle, but be patient. Always be patient. Don't rush it. It's better to be slow. You'll get fast as you just practice it, right? You'll get to the point where you can get much faster. But it's better to do it right and learn good habits, get muscle memory, and then you're doing it right every time, even if it takes longer in the beginning. Because then when you do it from going forward, you're not undermining your edge. The other thing is, don't push down really hard. Don't push down super hard, especially on stone. Stone, you might get away with it a little bit, but you can still cause more rolling. And pushing down also tends to make you pivot on that edge that you're on. When you push down more, that's when you tend to rotate on that pivot. Just kind of let it naturally guide over that edge, right? Let it just naturally, it'll sharpen up as you go, right? So just kind of let it naturally go. Don't feel like it's, now on a leather strop, that's also important because the leather will bow. So here's the leather, it'll bow. And as the edge comes over and you bow, it'll go down. And so then what happens is that leather kind of creases over the edge. You can see it creases over the edge. And so now it's starting to wear this really sharp edge. It's coming across that edge and it's starting to wear that off, right? Going like this. And so then when you come back this way, instead of having that edge, that little edge is starting to get worn off. And then you take some of that sharpness away. You just want it to be just nice and easy, nice and easy. Let it go. Just like everyone says, like Bob Ross, like I always sound like Bob Ross. So here's my Bob Ross moment. Just a happy edge over the leather or over the stone. Nice and easy, easy stroke. Don't have to force it. Just let it do its work. You like that? All right, so there you go. That's my Bob Ross for the evening. But I do have to say goodnight to all you fine people. I appreciate you joining for this live stream, this impromptu. That was a lot of fun. It has been fun. I have enjoyed it. Thank you for allowing me to clear up some old stuff and just making it a little impromptu thing here. Appreciate y'all. I hope you guys have a great evening. Get some sleep. I'm going to. Oh, are you using a leather strop? Yes. Sorry. Let me ask you real quick. Grizzle Bear leather crafting. Yes, I do use a leather strop. I have two leather straps. As a matter of fact, these are both custom made for me. This one right here is walnut, and this is, I use horse's hide on this one real quick. This is horse's hide as well. This is the smoother strop, and this has the higher polish strop material. This is the suede, and this has the white compound. So I use, now there are different materials you can use. Absolutely. You don't have to use the white compound, which is a more coarse material. This is a finer material. This is usually more for polishing, right? In my case, I actually mix the white and the green together a little bit over here. I know, anathema. I'm not always, I don't really care about super polished edges. I like a sharp edge. That's also why I have this stone, so that if I get too much polish from too much stropping and there's not enough bite, I can run over this here and kind of get that 600 grit back, so I get a little bite. This is a cool little thing to have. This is so you don't have to pull out a whole bunch of stones. You can get a little something like this. Let's see here. Who's this by? This is I got this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It's made in the USA. Oh, here it is. It's a Lansky. This is a Lansky sharpener, made in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, cool little thing to have. Definitely recommend that. Yeah, you can. I mean, on my, I actually could bring it out, but I have my KME sharper. I have the 5 micron, the 4 micron, the 3 micron. I have the film on the glass that I use. But I typically go from 150 to the 300 to the 600 to the 1200. And then sometimes I will go to the 2000. But usually I stop at 1200. I can get a polish at 1200. I almost don't always want to go higher than that. There are some things that being too polished, it's not going to bite and cut as well. But there are some steels that handle a really sharp edge well. Like RWL34, you can polish that up to super polish, and it's still sharp as and cuts like crazy. So I have to strop my flat blades for cutting leather. Yeah. I mean, I like stropping my Spydercos. Those are always fun to strop because they typically, whatever the steel is, they sharpen up really well. Now, I will tell you, Maximate is a lot of work. I do try to strop that regularly when I use the knife, even though I know it's not necessarily doing a whole lot. It's just means I have to do a whole less lot later on. So I like to do that. You can see this edge, I sometimes get stuff on there. So this is when doing that little, if I'm remembering to do it. So typically I'm on a call, listening to a phone call, so I don't always remember to do that. So I'm just kind of doing it. And if it's a very stressful call, I may be, kind of really going at this and just trying to get my mind off of what I'm doing. But I always like it when I can come up here and then just kind of just get rid of all the hair, right? That's always nice. Oh, you can't get your Maximate Nasty Sharp? Mine's crazy sharp. Let's see here. Oh, no, that's Magnacut. So here's my Maximate. And that edge is ridiculous. So like right now, I mean, that's crazy sharp. So now I did strop this for a good long time. But my Maximate has been fairly nasty sharp. I mean, I can whittle. I don't have a hair right now, but I can. So like I can just cut like. Let me see if I can just do it here. Typically, I can get a hair, just cut it. Yeah. There you go. So I just cut the hair and off the stop. Can't get nasty sharp. Oops. Can. Not can't. Ah, yeah. All right, there we go. Oh, okay. I was like, man. I was like, mine is sharp. I don't know if. There we go. Okay, so I agree with you. It can get nasty sharp, and it usually stays sharp for a very good long time. Now, the thing about Maximate, just like if you get Rex 141, if you get CPM Rex 141, don't drop your blade. Even on asphalt, don't drop your blade. Here's the reality of it. It can shatter. Transparent Knives. I was talking to him, and he dropped his Maximate blade, his Maximate Spyderco, and he broke his blade. He dropped it on asphalt, and it shattered, which he was bummed about. Well, I understand, but it is a more brittle, but it's a great edge stuff. So if you just need to cut, boxes and letters, this is a great edge. I love this. But it's not something I would go use to cut into wood or do chop. If you're gonna do that, get yourself some 3V or 4M steel or something, right? All right, guys, I'm gonna call it tonight and head to hay. So, but appreciate you guys again. Thank you for being here. You guys have a great evening. I appreciate every one of you. Yeah, it just doesn't have good lateral strength. Exactly, Kyle. That's a very good point. It's not brittle in the sense that it chips and falls apart. It's the lateral strength. If you hit it and you have enough torque at a particular point, where the I think it's the austenites and the carbides and how they form, it'll have a structure where it can crack. So yeah, I definitely get that. So all right, good night, guys. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for making this sort of an impromptu fun. Appreciate y'all. Bye.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts.